Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Please like, share and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Press like and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy Decodes. Sit back and enjoy as we dive deeper down into the rabbit hole and into the unknown.
Hello and welcome to today's show where I'm joined by the wonderful Gary Jones. Welcome.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, thanks for coming on. I'll just do a quick intro for those that don't know who you are. So you're the author of the Denbigh Lights, Denbigh Lights UFO book, amongst other stuff. So you've pretty much always been into the unknown and the paranormal, from what I can gather.
Yeah, I've had experiences and interactions, I guess, with the paranormal since my earliest childhood memories. And since then, it's on and off happened to me. So that's what got me interested in it. And that's how I'm doing these things today, actually.
Ah, excellent. Right. So you sent me a list of talking points. I'll just go through these as you've sent them. I know we are going to be looking at some photos and some images and maybe a couple of videos. But as we do that, I'll put them up and there'll be questions from the viewers, hopefully. So, tell me about your UFO sightings from like when it first began.
The first one was when I was about 7 years old. It was in the summertime, not long after my 7th birthday. And I know it was summer because my parents would let me stay out after dark. And as long as I stayed in the street where they could see me, I was allowed to stay out a little bit later than I normally would. And my friends and I were all just playing in the streets. And one of them pointed out to the farmland behind where I lived. And there it was there, this oval-shaped object, this rather unique-looking saucer-shaped craft, which hovered very silently. Couldn't hear any rotor blades on it, engines, or it didn't move like a plane or a helicopter would normally would. And the most unusual things I remember about it is not just the silence, but how it moved. If I use my hands like this to describe it, sort of like it was floating on water or something like.
Oh.
It was sort of moving like a very unusual. It wasn't static. It was like this, you know, like you see something floating on a calm lake, I guess, like a stick,
like bobbing about sort of thing.
Yeah, well, it's so bobbing, yeah, but it was sort of like very, very smoothish, kind of steady kind of movement. And the lights on it were very unusual. I describe it like the Knight Rider light on the old car kits. You know, the Knight Rider, they would go back and forth like that. Yeah, so you had that sort of like bright light and the faded bits coming behind it. Except these lights moved in a more sort of oval shape pattern around or just under the rim of the craft. And they were red, yellow, and orange. And they blended into each other very, very seamlessly, like a lava lamp kind of movement. Very hypnotic. It was mesmerizing, I have to say. It's never that particular part has never left me. I can even see it behind my eyes sometimes when I'm talking about it. And it was there for like, you know, you're looking at it for like 2-3 minutes. And one of my friends jokingly said, that's a UFO. I mean, we knew what UFO meant. We just didn't know the significance of what it was we were looking at. We just knew we were looking at something that wasn't what we describe as a plane or a helicopter or a balloon at that time. So this was like 1989. So obviously it's none of the, you know, drones or anything. No, and I turned my head away for like 10 odd seconds, maybe 15 tops, and it was gone. Like it turned off its lights or cloaked or whatever it did. You know, it didn't have enough time to get out of my sight. If it was like a plane or a helicopter normally would fly, even if it was going at a decent speed, it was like 10 seconds, turned back, was like, was it gone? And I didn't think anything more of it. I just carried on with what we were doing, and then I went in, and I've never forgotten it. And the second time I remember, I think I was about 21 years old, maybe going up to January 2004. Hang on now, I was born in 92. Yeah, it would have been about my 21 or 22nd year. It was January 2004. I was coming home from work, the last shuttle bus of the afternoon, late evening, because then the nighttime buses take over from the normal stagecoach ones. And I just it was about 7 o'clock when it stopped outside my when it stopped outside the bus stop. I was walking down the back road of the hill. There was this young girl with me. She had nothing to do with me. I wasn't with her, or she wasn't like a friend or anything. She was just going to her home, and I was going to mine. We just got at the same stop. And as we were walking down the hill, couldn't have been no more than 10 seconds, maybe 20, just getting off the bus. I'm walking down, and we look up, and there it is. It's like low-level cloud, very heavy, thick cloud, but low, just like coming over the mountain ranges. And it swooped down below the cloud. And how I describe its shape is like that inverted V sort of shape, like that.
Yeah.
Like that sort of like longish boomerang, but a much wider V, I guess. I can only describe it like one of the people describe with the lights. And oh yeah, this thing was huge. Twice as wide as 2 football fields wide, easy. And
wow,
I think we both saw it. I don't know how long. I definitely would say it was 10 seconds. It may have been more than that. These things stay visible long enough to get some detail on. I would estimate its speed was probably going about 300-400 miles an hour, because it came mad, and then it went off into the distance, back above the clouds. Didn't disturb the clouds.
No.
Didn't create a shape or move. It was being powered by a sort of turbine engine or propellant or something.
Yeah. Did it make any noise?
Silently. I think it may even. I think I remember something of a humming noise. I can't quite be sure on that, because it may have been background noise from the mountains and the valleys area. But I do remember it. I thought I remember hearing a hum, just a humming off of it. But I can't quite say anything more than that. But I know what I saw, and it was huge.
Yeah.
Lights,
so how long?
Make it up.
Yeah. So on both of these accounts, how long do you think you was looking at them for on each one?
Well, the first one was 2 or 3 minutes. That's when I was 7. This one was about 10, 15, no more than 20 seconds. I can't give you exact time, but I know it was at least.
No.
I will say 15 seconds then.
Yeah. Is there any possibility? Yeah, I was just going to say, is there any possibility that you could have missing time, and it's a lot longer than you actually felt?
No, I don't think I had missing time. I don't think I remember seeing getting home and then finding out I've got an hour missing, because I got in at the time I normally expected myself to get in.
Yeah.
Once I got, judging the length of time it took from the bus to the bus stop to my house.
Yeah.
No, I got in at just the right time. But I do remember, went from 2004. That's when all that freaky paranormal shit started happening. You know what I mean? lots of weird, funny things were going on. And it wasn't long after that. I started researching. I started really getting into research. So maybe that's what triggered it.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that what kicked it off? Was that the kickstart of you deciding to investigate Wales and its UFO hotspots?
I started researching at first, really looking into a lot of what had been learned previously. I was very fortunate that broadband, or at least faster upload into internet was coming out, and it was getting easier to save large files, like videos and things and websites. So I just started. I mean, one of the things I really enjoyed watching was the early videos of Project Camelot. And then all the early videos that were being uploaded to YouTube, documentaries from so many different sources. Then websites started becoming savable, and then I started reading all those. And then I started looking more at Wales, and started looking at the Berwyn Mountain and the Welsh Triangle and the Knights of the Triangles and all that. And then Roswell and Rendlesham Forest and all these other crazy sightings we've had. And then I think around me think now. It's been about nearly. It's coming up to the 10th year. So around 2013, 2014, yeah, around there is when I started to investigate them. I decided I wanted to learn, and then from there, it wasn't long after that, of course, about 2 or 3 years into it, that I got the major case, the Pentyrch Incident, coming to my life. So that was quite a thing.
Just a little bit. Just one of the biggest things in the UK ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some people are saying even the world, but I mean, I'm letting people say that themselves. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I say it's one of the biggest cover-ups, no doubt. It is, because definitely. We're learning so much more about it, and there's the book there if anybody wants to get it. Like, it's that was a co-authored book with me and Kaz Clark, and it's definitely we've uncovered the cover-up, I should say.
Yes, because when you came on last time, you was trying to get answers from all these different agencies and companies, and you was kind of getting somewhere, but not. You was going in the right direction with what you wanted to get.
We finally got the RAF and the MOD, as well as the South Wales Police, as well as other agencies in the government, to finally admit that none of them had any exercises, especially the MOD and the police. No one conducted any low-flying exercises or counter-terrorism exercises or any other exercise, for that matter, was going on in South Wales during the month of February of 2016, which begs the question, why did you bring all that firepower? Why did you bring all that military aircraft? Why did you shoot things down? Why did you block roads? Why did you intimidate people living in the area afterwards? If it was just, and why did you chase something all around South Wales and after that, and to West Wales, it seems, as well? But, those questions are not asked, and they're not or answered, I should say. But, some people still say it's an exercise, even though the very same people they're saying it was an exercise saying it wasn't. It's bloody pathetic, the people who keep saying that.
Yeah, people just go with what they think, don't they, and don't really dig too deep into it.
Yeah, I think they're biased, and they just let their emotions rule their head. They don't think things through.
Yeah, no, thank you. One of the questions on it is, how is the book doing? Because obviously you picked the book, the one you've just picked up. Oh, well, the one that you did with Kaz.
The Pentyrch one, I'm not sure on the sales. I don't have that information. That's on a separate website that Kaz controls.
Okay.
But as I know, I mean, obviously it's got like an average 4.3 or 4.4 star out of 5 review. That's going along 500 or 600 reviews now, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but a good few hundred reviews. And I think the book is, I know it's selling now in America, Canada. I think in places like Mexico and Argentina may have actually bought some. I even know that it's gone as far as Japan and Australia. Wow. So that's good. That's good.
Oh, definitely.
But the other one, Denbigh Lights, it's still relatively new. It's not so big a case as the Pentyrch one, because it's a very underrated case, the Denbigh Lights one, which is why I think so. It's kind of gone under the radar, but it's doing all right. I mean, it's getting harder for people to find spare money for books when you realize the crisis of energy on food and money and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
But maybe with Christmas coming, a few of you who are watching could do me a favor and buy a couple of these.
Yes. So I'm just going to put. I'm going to add a couple of these pictures that you've sent me, and one of them's you holding the book.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that people know what to look out for when they go and buy it. So
it's available on Amazon. Yeah, it's available on Amazon. It's available in 4 formats: PDF or Kindle, I think it's called.
Yeah.
I like audio format. If you like audio, there's a good one there. What else do we have? There's a hardback and a paperback as well. The hardback is actually quite nice, but the paperback is just as fine as well.
Is it on Kindle?
Yes.
Did you say? Yeah.
Yeah, Kindle. So, if you like if you want it for that, you can get that version of things now. So you can get. I'll see if I can get some links now while we're talking.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
I can multitask if you
let's
want.
say if you send them to me, I can send them to Jo, the moderator, and she'll put them up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work?
Yeah, it's been on sale now for a couple of months. It's still a new book, so
yeah. That's the thing with books, isn't it? It's like unless you're a well-known author that's been going for decades, it's
it's only my second
slow
book.
start, isn't it?
My second book.
Yeah. Cool. Well, good luck.
Well, hopefully we'll get
good luck with it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I really want to boost the sales in it because I think it's a really good book. I mean, people are going to learn now. Hopefully, what's so good about it. Yeah.
Here we go. So Jo has sent me the. Oh, you've sent the link. There we go. Right. Makes it even easier because I can put it straight onto YouTube chat. And then when it goes on there, I'll put it up on the screen as well. So anyone watching back can...
If anyone wants to leave me a review as well, I'd very much appreciate it. It helps to boost the... What's the word I'm looking for? If you get a review or two, it boosts the, the algorithm.
Yeah, it puts you high to the top of the list. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's called the Denbigh Lights. It's called the Denbigh Lights, a truthful argument for the existence of UFOs. And if people want to know why I use that subheading, a truthful argument for the existence of UFOs, it's not that I'm trying to prove that UFOs already exist. It's a case that helps you to realize that this is all true. This is what we're saying is true. They're real. If one is real, then how many more are? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, thank you. So I'll leave that on for a while, so that people can, if they want to write it down or copy and paste it, it's up to them. What I will do as well, just to make it a little bit easier. There we go. So I'll just scroll it across the bottom. I'll leave it on so it's not too distracting while we're talking. Right. I got a couple of questions for you. And this is from UFO Joe. And he wants to know, Gary, what was the general feeling when you saw that? I'm guessing either the first or the second UFO sighting that you had, or maybe both.
Well, the first one when I was 7, it was kind of cool to look at it, actually. But like I said, we were a kid and my friend called it a UFO. We didn't realize the significance of what we were looking at. But obviously, it definitely made an impression because, I'm 41 now. And that was when I was 7 years old. So that's 34 years ago. And I still remember like I'm looking at it yesterday. And it made it quite an impression. It told me they were real. So when in future, when I heard people mention UFOs, I'm like, well, I've seen one. Do you know what I mean? I never really talked about it that much, funny enough, because I realized that people were iffy about these things. But the second one definitely was a little bit more unreal because by then I'm older. It came out of nowhere and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And then it passed over. I mean, the girl looked at each other instantly. I should have mentioned it. It's like, if you imagine this as your hands, you look at like that, you know what I mean? It's like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Amazing. Just amazing.
It is very odd.
I wasn't scared of it. I wasn't scared of it. I was in awe of it, but it definitely made an impression. But
did you feel like, I was just going to say, do you feel afterwards, though, that you didn't actually feel the need that you had to tell anybody?
No, I didn't really feel the need to tell. I told my parents when I came in.
Yeah.
I told my family and friends, but they didn't seem all that bothered about it, actually. It's like I guess maybe I say it in such a way, it comes across as normal. It's just Gary. Don't worry about it. It's nuts.
Leave him to it. We'll see another one soon.
Yeah, don't worry.
No, it's like
with the fairies tonight.
Yeah, because when I see mine, like the first one was about 7 or 8. I've possibly seen some more in between. And the next one, the next major one, was in my 20s. But I never felt like I needed to tell anyone about them until I started doing this. So I don't think I told any friends, I didn't tell any family or nothing like that. I just didn't feel the need that I had to share it with anybody.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never really had a problem
No
talking about
idea.
it. I just knew people had a funny reaction, so I kind of never brought it up unless somebody was initiating a conversation or the situation was kind of,
Yeah.
what's the word? You know, you kind of put yourself in the mindset for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when
Mm.
when the conversation or that subject's been brought up, then it's like time to like bring it in, sort of thing, rather than just blurting it out of nowhere.
Indeed.
Yeah. Cool. Right, we've got another question for you from Nickname, and she wants to know, hi Gary, have you researched the 1974 Berwyn Mountain incident?
I have looked into it, yes. I've even had a chance to speak with a man named Scott Felton, who's been like the primary researcher on that one.
Yeah.
A lot of people have looked into it, but he's like the one who's kept it most honest, because other people have tried to assume that alien bodies were recovered, which I don't quite believe in. Yeah, I've had a look I mentioned the Berwyn Mountain in the book, actually. It's part of the historical piece of evidence that I used. It talks about how North Wales is very active for UFOs, and certain areas definitely attract more sightings than others. And with the Berwyn Mountain, it was obvious that something, I don't know if they crashed, but maybe it got into a bit of trouble and needed to use the area as a period of rest to repair itself. I don't know. This is just going on what I've read.
Yeah.
But I mean, when something crashes or something makes a loud noise, shakes people's homes, brings the army in, strange lights are being seen, and some of the witnesses, I think her name was Pat Evans with her two daughters, was driving on a road and looked down into a valley area where this thing was on the Berwyn Mountain area, and I think her name was Pat Evans. It's in the book anyway. You know, you can look it up online. There's lots of information on it. But yeah, it's a very, very, very good case. Very solid eyewitness testimonies, and a lot of interesting pieces of evidence to back it up. You know, so something definitely went on there. It wasn't a plane crash. There wasn't no alien bodies recovered. I mean, that's what I think anyway. No alien bodies were recovered. Somebody's tried to insinuate that was the case, but
Yeah.
you know, but the army
to make it a bit Roswell-y.
Yeah, just to sort of throw people off the scent or something, to try and try and muddy the waters a bit.
Yeah. No, thank you. Right, I'm going to go back to the list that you forwarded to me. So one of them is, it says about the video footage and what you thought of it, and that it connects you to your sightings as a child.
Yes, this might be a good time to bring in one of the videos. I don't know if you can do a screen share for this one. Let me see. It's video 1A, and maybe I'll let it play first. But what you're going to see when you're ready is this thing has lights rotating on it. It's flashing like a very unusual set of lights, the small one and bigger ones as well. And the family who saw it, I'll talk about the family in a moment, but the four of them all said that it was oval shaped or saucer shaped, and it kind of reminded me of mine when I very first saw this video. It was like in 2018. When I saw it, I knew straight away that's pretty similar to what I saw. Although my lights moved a little differently, you've definitely got the strange bluish hue thing going on around it. So yeah, if you want to.
Oh right. Yeah, just give me a second. I'm just going to swap the screen around, and then I'll bring it back in. Just bear with me one moment. I just need to. Right, so video file. There we
video
go.
1A it should be.
Yep, and now this should be. There we go.
Just let that play.
What a hive.
I don't know. That's impossible. Nothing could be like that, especially in this weather.
Was it both getting all bad?
Can't believe it.
Let's go home.
is amazing. Shall I wake Mum up?
If you want.
Where?
There.
Above the house. See it?
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know.
I need my glasses.
It's
I've got my glasses downstairs from The front. Yeah. Sticks. What the hell is it? It's gone now.
Ooh.
Yeah. In the next video, which I'll show you in a bit, I think it's a bit more zoomed in. But what you just heard there was Nathan and Alex Thomas and their mother Linda Pritchard. And Nathan and Alex are brothers. It was a stormy night. You're talking 3 o'clock in the morning. I think it was January 3rd, 2012. And they saw something outside the window, which obviously made them want to get their camera and start recording it. I don't know how good it appears on the screen for others, but the more larger it is, of course, the better it looks. What you saw was those flashing lights, and the bits underneath are what I added to help people understand what they're saying. I mean, you can see from the tone of their voice and what the words that they're using, that's amazing. This is incredible.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. They've lived in that area their whole lives. They're still there to this day, I believe. And they've never seen nothing like that before or since. And it's made an impression on them because it's been over 10, 11 years now since that day. And they're still just as amazed to see it today. And this might help us with the talking points I send you. If I could just bring you to... Oh, let's just go to slide 27. Let's just go straight into it.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry about this. 27.
Mm-hmm.
What I'll do, as you say, I'll just add them onto the screen rather than uploading everything. There we go.
That there is some of the screen captures that I've been able to put together. Now, the top left one you're looking at there, the one with the sort of like cherry red light, and the top left there, actually, that one was done by a man named David Williams, who's the next door neighbor. I don't know how he done this, but he had some software on an iPad of his, and he just sort of like, if you imagine this is the frame, he was like screen capture, zoom in, screen capture, zoom in.
Yeah.
And as he was doing that, he sort of moved in closer and enhanced it. I've tried myself to do this, but not been able to replicate his success. But what you see on the rest of them is you can see that there's like the one underneath the top left image, so I guess bottom left.
Yeah.
That's got a series of lights and like a red thing on top. The top right one, which is more like brackish, greenish, and you can see the red light again.
Yeah.
That is a thing that flashes quite a bit in the video if you're able to play it back and sort of like do a frame-by-frame analysis. And the one on the bottom right is just what do you call it? When you invert color, just to sort of see if I could bring out any details, any highlighted details, because I think what David has done there is quite amazing. He's really brought to life the big lights, the bluish hue lights, and the way it flashes, and you can even get a hint of a dome on the top there. There's like a hint of a dome, so it's obviously saucer shaped. And I was really impressed by how he was able to do that. I did interview him myself, and I interviewed all the family, and I made a documentary on it. I've even done a presentation slide on this. So I'll add the slide. I'll add the links to this actually as we go forward. I should have them on here already. Can I bring your attention to, where is it? Slide 51. I just want to show you a little. I want to show the analysis of this because Jason Gleaves was the former RAF man who did a analysis for me. Now he was in the RAF. He's got a website called UF Only, and he does like analysis of videos and photos to try and see what's actually been captured. And he's done a number of interesting cases. I asked him would he be willing to help me on this, and on the left you can see no strobe aircraft lights are exhibited. In other words, what he's saying is this is not a aircraft or a drone or any kind of known thing that would be piloted by a human.
Right.
Some of the lights underneath you can see he's been able to enhance and capture some of them. You can see the lights are, I mean, what's interesting about them is that they appear in, it's kind of like a torch, I guess, or a lampshade. You know, you have the extended thing and the lights inside, you know, the lamp.
Yeah, yeah.
But what's strange about these lights is that they don't give off some sort of like brightness around it. The light doesn't extend beyond the source itself. It's like, I think the word is like incandescent bulb light or something, you know, where the light stays within the source of the area. I think emergency exits are like this. I don't know. I think that's what they mean. But that's the way it looks. And you can see on the bottom right. Are you able to zoom in? Maybe do a little zoom, or can you just?
Not on this.
No? Oh, it's okay then. Don't worry. Where I've got the yellow sort of red rectangles there. There's a rectangle in it. Sorry. You can see some of the features I was able to make out of the lights. You can see there's blue lights and some hues around them, and there's like 4 or 5 little bluish yellow lights. And this is like triangular shape, sort of in the middle of them all. And you can see the comparison between up and down the two images there. It just shows there's some kind of shape in between the lights, and maybe you can make it out a little bit in between the other lights on the bottom left there, where the 3 light patterns are. The thing that looks like a bit like Orion's belt light star formation. Yeah, it's like sort of like a triangular formation inside that too, but maybe that's just me. But I mean, these are not lights.
Just gonna see if I can share the screen so you can get. So can you see? Is that better? This one now? Can you see that?
It's just a full picture of the slide that you got up. So
yeah, it's just I can zoom in on this. That's all.
I can't see anything except that. No, that's all I can see.
Oh, right. No, it's for some reason it's not working. I don't know why, but yeah, I was just trying to get the picture up so I could zoom in and have a better look, but it's just not doing it. Sorry.
It doesn't matter anyway. You can knock that slide off now anyway.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. But yeah, I mean that was one of the more interesting things about it. I looked at the video, I had it analyzed, and I was doing all these different comparisons and all that. I wasn't the first person to look into it. It was like only 6 years later when the case, January, was it? Yeah, it was 2012, January 3rd, 2012. I was looking at it in April of 2018, and I asked the family, I said, has anyone looked into this? And that's where a man named Peter, he's going to kill me now for not knowing his name. Peter Glynn.
Yes.
I was thinking Peter Griffin, and then a family guy would. No, Peter Glynn. He was a UFO investigator. I think he had interest in other things as well. If you bring up, I can bring up his picture. Actually, we can look at who he is because slide 21.
21. 1 second.
We'll go. This will be a good way to introduce people to the first investigations into this. I thought Peter did a good job. You know, he was able to interview the family. He got some early testimonies, and Went and visited the site, took a picture from the window where it was seeing day and nighttime comparisons, that sort of thing, so we can get an idea of what was being looked at. And he put together a series of videos, and they're on his page, Peter Glynn Films.
Yeah.
It's it says there, genuine UFO sighting, Denbigh, Wales. If you go forward to the next slide, I think it's like slide 22. This is his LinkedIn. This will be his LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
He's done a bit in politics as well, but he's also done like medical. He's got a medical background. He's also done.
All right.
He's got some academic qualifications. So he's a pretty intelligent man. He's not someone who is gullible. He's really he's really a switched on person, and he did a lot of interesting work. He got me a lot of good evidence to work on. I thought, well, this is good, but I thought maybe we could share this. We could expand upon it, because I knew there was a lot more to be done. Like the video analysis and everything.
Yeah.
If I go to, let me think, slide 23.
Yeah.
Should be the next one.
1 second. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. These are just some of the videos taken from a number of his investigations. You can see the family, this Linda Pritchard look with Peter at the window.
Yeah.
There's Peter in the top right walking with some friends. He thought maybe there may have been something up on the farmland area. Maybe someone was in a vehicle, or maybe there was a series of vehicles with lights, or maybe there's something from the golf course or something like that. You can see in the bottom right there are some tracks, but there's no evidence of multiple, constant going around in a circle. Because what's not known as well is that the day and nighttime comparisons. You can see in the bottom left there. He looked over himself. I've had a few people do some day and nighttime comparisons. I've tried myself. Maybe we can get that up now. I can show you on. This would be, where is it? Let me think. There is one here. Oh, yeah. Let me think. Bear with me.
Yeah.
This would be slide 48.
48. There we go. 1 second.
This is Peter. We've all had a go at it, but you can see in the bottom left, what's happened here is that the lights, the craft, it's gone from being like in a, what do you call it, horizontal position to a sort of 45-degree vertical position. It's gone from that to that. And Alex said that, and Nathan did, and even Kira said that this thing. She was the fourth witness to see it. Kira George.
Yeah,
that's Linda's granddaughter. And if you look in the bottom right image there, you can see the daytime sighting location photograph overlaid. It's just above. It's sort of like in line with the mountain horizon sort of area.
Yeah.
It just sort of puts just about in between a place called Christmile Woods and the golf course area, the sort of far end of one of the golf course. And what's amazing is that I don't know if you've ever heard of a man named what's his name? Mick West. He's the one that does Metabunk.
No.
He tried saying that was something to do with the golf course. If you go to slide 49,
yeah,
then I can show you.
There you go.
Anyway, the story was picked up in I think it was one of the Daily Mail or Daily Star online websites. He said it was aliens versus golf carts, and he put together this 2-minute video or 3-minute video, and he's got it as someone in the golf course area. Now, I've spoken to all the family. The golf course area is never open at night. It was pouring down with rain. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. The farmland was not visible with any signs of activity because Peter went up there and had a look himself.
Yeah.
And I know full damn well that this has got nothing to do with the golf course, because if you go to slide 50.
Yeah. 1 second. There we go.
I mean, Mick West has done some good work on some other cases, debunking people trying to fob you off and make you look foolish.
Yeah.
But it seems like on Metabunk, the default mode is to debunk every damn thing. You know, none of it can be real, which is kind of stupid, really. Because there are some.
Yeah.
I don't mind skepticism. I like skeptical minds. I like people to.
Yeah.
Because you know, it keeps me on an even keel and keeps me honest. But if you're just going to go around, you know, saying everything's debunked, sorry.
Yeah.
You know. It's
That's
just
it. It's either everything's real or everything's fake.
Yeah.
So
now I draw your attention to first of all the top right image. That big tall tree there that's visible, where you just saw that daytime nighttime overlaid site. That's roughly where the lights are in that big tall tree area there. You can see it from the window, how it looks from the window, from a zoomed in point, from a camera from the bedroom window of where they saw it. Can you see in the bottom right there?
yes.
So bottom, the top right is where
yes.
Top right, I'm standing right by it.
Yeah.
Bottom right is where I'm from the window. I have actually gone up there to have a look. Now there's a fence. This is the tree. There's a fence, and there's like this, like a hill, a mountain, sort of. It sort of looks down onto the golf course, and there's a big circle there that says water tank. Now, you know, if you're following in the lines, right? Because I did a sort of like a comparison of how the lines match up. Because when the lights are flashing from left to right, you know, the furthest point left and the furthest point right. I did a Google Map overlay, and if you go to slide, let me think, 41.
Yes.
I want people to pay attention to that path there in the middle. And there's a path in the middle there, right? You can see it.
Yeah.
You have to go through a fence to get into there. You know, there's a fence that blocks your way. Now, if you go to slide, let me think.
41. We've got 41. Yeah.
Okay. Now you just seen where the water tank is. You can see it further up. Look.
Yes.
Now, if you look at the furthest
middle.
light left, the further red line left, and the furthest red line right. That's roughly if you kept going out like that, you know, from the bedroom window and then outwards. These are the leading edges of either side. Now you can see it goes into the golf course, and then onto the right there, you can see it goes into the forest. If that's on the ground, if you're on the ground and you're driving flat on the flat surface, you're having to drive through the forest, through the fence, and you're going to be obscured by the golf course banking on the other side where that big tall tree was. You can't see it on the ground. You might get what's the word? You might get some little like hazy lights or something, but you won't see clear flashing lights or 45-degree angle tilts or anything like that. You won't get that much detail, which I showed you in those enhanced images, which I just brought up earlier on. Do you see why it's silly to call it a vehicle? That's how I know, because I've been there, I've looked at it, and I've studied it from all angles. So you know,
so I'll put the previous slide up.
And another talking point. Yeah. There's the water tank. The purple line that runs on the bottom left image is the golf course, or one of the holes anyway. In the middle, bottom middle, like 6 o'clock, that's a path that runs into the forest. That's how you can get in there. But if you're going to go around and keep going in a circle loop pattern, right, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make your way through all that forest, come out over the water tank, come over the fence on the other side, and then make your way back up the golf course, which you can't see. Do you see how stupid it is when you say it's people on golf carts? It's ridiculous. It's
I think we'd still be stuck on that path trying to get through. In all honesty,
well, it's not easy to walk. Well, you can walk through it, but it's not easy to ride a bike down there, let alone a car.
It doesn't even look that.
It's not that wide.
No, I say it doesn't even look that easy to walk through. That's all overgrown in the summer as well.
Yeah, it's quite dense in many areas. Although, what's interesting is that a lot of it was chopped down not long after the incident happened.
You
know, so that was
that's interesting. Yeah. Sorry, you was going to say there's another talking point for.
I was just saying you wanted to. I don't know if you're coming up to break or something. I just didn't know what you wanted to do. There's
we'll do one more bit and then we'll have a break.
Yeah, I just I want to keep within your format, mate. If I go to slide, let me think. It is in here. I did have it. I hate it when you can't see it. Slide 31. And maybe slide 32 as well.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll try and add them both. It should let me do it.
Oh, if you can do that, then try and add slide 33 as well. Because this is going to...
Okay, sorry, 1 second. Let me change the size of them. So what is it? 31, 32, and 33?
Uh-huh.
Right, it should let me do it.
This is
There we go. So this is slide 31.
Yes, this is Margaret Pritchard. Now she's the sister of Linda Pritchard. She's auntie of Nathan and Alex. Now what's interesting about her is that she told me that about for 5 or 6 weeks after this incident happened, somebody came to the Christmile Woods area and chopped a large section of it down. And there was no reason given for it. And the area itself was actually, it was very serene, you know, it was very nice wooded tree area. It was very like walking in a nice nature forested place. And then they just came in there and chopped a large section of area down. Now, I don't know why that is, whether it was wind damage or not. I did try and look into this. And if we go to slide... Well, if we go to slide 32, we'll have a look at some of the mess they made when trying to clear this all up. You can see some of the saw marks, some of the topped trees. Some of it's just been pulled over. And in the middle there is just, a large section they chopped down. It's all growing over now. This is in 2018, November of 2018. So God knows what it's looked like now. It's probably like a big, thick, it's probably doubled in size and much harder to walk through. But I mean, if you're talking about sanitized fellings, you know, like, the trees got damaged and they're poisoned or something, they got like lash disease. Because we had the similar incident happen in Pentyrch where about a couple of months or maybe a year after the event, they cleared a whole area of forest in Smilog Woods, and the reason they gave was lash disease. But then we found out that the area they chopped down didn't have a sanitized license for lash disease fellings. It wasn't meant to be touched anyway. And then they replanted within a few weeks of chopping the place down. And then even though they're supposed to leave it fallow or barren for a couple of years while the disease its seeds die off or something. Anyway, it's in the...
Yeah, so I was just going to say, because aren't they supposed to remove the trees once you've cut them down if they're diseased?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think these were diseased at all because, I mean, I asked them about it. They sent an email saying that this particular area was, I need to ask a certain forested, some sort of the special counsel or something. I tried contacting them. I never got no answer. But if you go to the next slide I brought up, 33. Yeah. But as you can see in that one, it's just all over the place. They just moved them to the side. This is just in Denbigh or in Denbighshire. You can see Christmile Woods there. It's a funny word. It's Christmile Woods or something like that. It's a protected site. It's actually protected, So if you're going to go in there and do something, it's obviously going to be done by some sort of special permission. So the question is, why'd they do it? I mean, I don't know if you can bring up slide 35 just to sort of show you a comparison, and I think we can close that one. We can shut the book on that one and then go to a break if you want.
Yeah, sounds good. 1 second. There we go.
You can see there 2006 and below 2016. You can see the large area they've chopped down.
Oh,
the bolded areas. And no reason given. No real reason. They just decided to chop it down and leave it there. And I've often wondered why that is. Was it storm damage? Did the craft go over it? Was it...
It just
I mean, I don't
seems
know.
weird that they've just cut it down in that one area and
Well, it's
nowhere
not the
else.
only. It's not the only time they've done this. They've done it with Rendlesham Forest. They did it with the Sheffield incident. They
Yes.
did it with, I think they did it with Berwyn Mountain. They did it with the Pentyrch Incident. They've done it with this, the Denbigh Lights. They've done it with, what else was there? I think maybe even in Nottingham, there was a thing about Nottingham in I think it was 987.
Yeah.
So you supported UFO there as well. They just, I don't know. Is it a cleanup operation? Is there something they do that to cover up evidence? I don't know. I like I say, but it's a pattern of behavior that's consistent with UFO sightings, especially real good witness accounts and testimonies and evidence based ones.
Yeah. It just seems a very peculiar thing to be doing, and that not being any reason behind why they're doing it.
No, it's all. I mean, I said I tried contacting the authorities or those who were involved in it, but
Yeah.
I never got any straight answer. And apparently, it's ancient woodland, so it's a protected site. So why would you go in there and
Yeah.
ruin something that didn't need to be touched?
Something going on. We'll never find out. It's
Well, I've got
always
this
the way, isn't it?
I've just got this idea that maybe the craft got into some bother. It may have interacted with the woods and caused some damage or something. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Could have been.
speculation, but it's based on things that I found out, over the years.
Yeah. No, cheers for that. Right, we are going to go for a break. It is only 3 minutes now. I've cut it down. So, see you guys then. Cheers, Gary. See you soon.
Okay.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Back. Welcome back, Gary.
Yeah.
So, should we move on to? We got a couple more questions, or is there anything you want to add from before the break?
We can. I don't know. I mean, could we maybe just do like 10 more minutes of this, and I can save the rest of the time for questions.
Yeah, of course you can. It's your shout, mate. Whatever
Okay.
you want to do.
I'd like to. Yeah, I'd like to leave quite a bit of time for the second one for questions on. Yeah, I was just gonna send you some links to the presentation that I done, so that you can let your people get, if they want to see more information on this. I made a documentary on it in 2018. Or did I? I think I went to interview the family because after seeing the video, and then interviewing all the family and doing all the background research and everything, I began to realize that this and seeing what Peter had done, I thought, there's a lot of meat on this bone, but we can certainly add a bit more to it. We can certainly, I checked with weather radar and plane finder radars and checked the history of all the local sightings. There was nothing there that said this was there was a helicopter or a plane flying in the area. Another one of the talking points was Peter or the family contacted the police, or I think Peter may have been there when the police were contacted. I'm not sure, but they said it was lampers, people hunting or something in the area, which should have encouraged an investigation by the police, but I guess that never came to anything. And I would just like to maybe bring up some more slides quickly. I mean, I could go over the video testimonies of them, but I don't think I really need to do that for this because you can see it in the documentary anyway. I really would just like to if we can go from slide 53 to 55, I think that would be a nice ending point. Oh, hang on, actually. Yeah, could you do slide 5 first of all?
Yeah.
And then we'll do those ones, and I'll leave it.
Yeah, they're all uploaded now. Anyway, I'm just waiting for 5. Right, so this is slide 5.
This was about a month after the actual event. This was a story that I found in a media paper. This was a month after or there. So Denbigh Castle. Now Denbigh Castle can be seen from the farmland area and from the window of the home of the family. Yeah, it's not that far away actually. I'm not sure exactly how far. Maybe a mile as the crow flies. But Denbigh Castle's quite old, a few centuries old. And it's had a history of strange paranormal and historical UFO sightings. Legend speaks of, a dragon that lived there and some 8-fingered man slayed a beast there. And there's even talk of that one time a lady was walking around the castle with a dog and a strange beam of light came out from the castle area and the dog got scared. The owner went to grab it and got their hand burnt, But this is something I find interesting. Saucer-shaped object seen a month after by Graham Evans from Denbigh was startled when a strange flying object appeared in the daylight sky as he was taking a photograph with his digital camera. Now, I think he may have got 2 or 3 pictures of this. It was on a website. It was on a website or one of those local papers, and I was able to get it here. And this is just a month after. So what's interesting is that I guess this thing or something like it was still around the area at the time, because you can see where the page 3 number is, just above it there. It's like a dome-shaped thing. There seems to be like a sort of lighted shaded circle underneath. I mean, if you could zoom in, maybe you could see it a bit more. But it's clearly got some sort of, some interesting shape. It's not just like a round blob. It's like, it's like a saucer shape, and then it's got this like base underneath it. So
Yeah, you can see the contrast to it.
Yeah, and it's a daylight time picture, and I think he had 2 or 3 images of this. Yeah, there's contrast shade, and there's definitely some shape to it. So I thought that was really interesting. Now, if you go to slide 55, sorry, 50. I want to go from 53 to 54 and 55, and then we'll.
Right.
I'll open it up to questions then, and we can have some fun with that. Okay, now just to sort of prove to people that I was looking at all aspects of this, I thought, well, let's just do some comparisons and we'll see how this looks. You got sparklers and lanterns and flares and fireworks, right? And what's good about it is you see in the bottom, bottom right images, the David Williams image and my one next to it. Look, you can see where it's doing the tilt. You can see the the 4 lights there in a tilted formation.
Yeah.
That's actually that's actually when it started to move from a horizontal to a more vertical direction. But you can see, look, it's none of the flares or lanterns, is it? It looks nothing like it.
No,
nothing like it at all.
Not even close.
This thing was visible for 15 minutes, and they got 9 minutes of video evidence of it. And if you go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Should be some more comparisons
that
I looked at.
Oh, there we go. Does that come up?
There it is. There we go. A helicopter, a drone, which is, it's got some similarity, the drone bit, with the light, but it doesn't move like the other ones do. You can see the plane in the top right, the helicopter. These lights do flash, but they don't move or look like anything like this. And like I said, the family were all looking at it. They were amazed. I mean, something that I find interesting, one of the more interesting quotes is that when it actually stopped, when the lights finally went out, Alex was like, "Oh, don't stop." You know what I mean? It's like, why would you care if it was a drone or a plane or a helicopter, because you see those things every day.
Yeah.
And Kira, I asked her in an interview, and you'll see it in the documentary at the end. I said, "Oh, she's a big Ed Sheeran fan. She, loves his music and everything." And we were talking at the end, well, if you had the choice between, like, I don't know, backstage passes, and full access to Ed Sheeran's tour, or winning the lottery or something, and seeing this, what would you choose? And she said, "Oh, I'd choose this every time because it's priceless." They're desperate to see it again. They still look out there to see if it ever comes back. And it just goes to show how much of an impression this thing made. And if we go to slide 56.
Oh,
sorry, 55. 55.
Yeah. Scared, man.
Sorry, I thought.
Yeah, it's
but like
all
I
right.
said, I covered forest walkers, electrical arcs, lampers and jeeps, and mountain walkers. Now these are just still frames. In my documentary, I show how they look in real time, but obviously I can't play all these videos because I wouldn't get nothing done. But you can see that it's nothing like them. The electrical arc is very blue and it lights up the tree. The forest walker creates that beam of light with the mountain walker in the far distance. Look. And the lampers and jeeps, again, vehicles on the ground. There was no vehicles seen in the area. Why would you be out why would anyone be out training or doing stuff like this in stormy weather? There was a big storm that night. The winds are up to 50, 60 miles an hour, and the temperatures was just above zero, or just maybe around zero. Yeah. And you're talking like, rain coming down very heavily. You don't want to be outside. You get soaking wet. And even if you got rainproof gear on, you still be getting soaking wet. So no. And I would just, if we can then, one final time, because I was just trying to say that I've looked at all bases. There's video 2B. If you finish up on that, then we should have plenty of time for questions then, and I'll answer all the questions you've got.
Here we go. So I'm just going to upload it, and then we can see it on the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to talk while it's playing or not? I just need to change the format.
I'm going to mute my mic when you do it. I'm going to mute my mic when you do it to let people just see it for themselves.
Yeah, I'm going to play it like I would the intro. So, it just takes a few seconds to upload. Right, here we go.
All right.
Look.
Yes, no, I can see it through it.
Look at the lights. Look at it.
It's shaking, Alex.
Wow. That's amazing.
I know, it's weird.
Shut up!
Oh, can you help me? Stroke him, Alex. Should we send it to the post?
Look. Come have a look, Alex. Lights. There could be something in that field. Man, if you go there tomorrow with a crop circle, do you reckon that's what's moving?
Yeah, Alex. If we upload this to YouTube, Alex, yeah?
That's amazing, though.
Would you reckon the Secret Service will take?
Shit.
Alex, look right now. You can see above it, Alex. You can see above it. Fine. Oh my God.
That is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
You might be like.
I'm seeing. What the hell could that be? That is amazing. I can see the saucer. Check him.
Which one?
Wow. That was awesome.
So,
that
yeah.
really was.
The number of lights in that thing is incredible, and as you can see where they're saying they're seeing above it. You can see the saucer. Their eyes are picking up more detail in the camera, and I mean, yeah, I got to commend them for getting that video. And what's interesting, you know, is like Nathan wants to put it on the post or upload it to YouTube. They think it's making a crop circle. Yeah, sorry, lost you there then. So I mean, that just shows you. I mean, and towards the end, the lights just go off and they just suddenly disappear.
Yeah,
and it's never seen again. So of course, it was seen a month later by that Graham's picture. But
yeah. Could you just ask? So, looking at it, it looked like the lights on it were rotating. So it looked like it was rotating to the left, and then as I'm watching it, it looks like they then start rotating to the right. And I couldn't fix which way they were rotating. It was weird.
It's really strange. It's hard to. It's so randomized and so multitude of lights. It's like, you know, it looks like it's going this way and then, you know, it's going out.
Yeah, it looks like it's going like that, and then
ball, you know what I mean?
It kind of like just it's
it's
strange.
I mean, you can see the lights. It's like this. It goes from like 4 lights to 13, maybe. Count them. Do a little. I mean, you know, if people want to have a look on the documentary, there's more of this video there. But I just put that one there because those are the best bits to look at in most of the footage. Because some of it's kind of shaky. And anyway, but if you got any questions, I mean, by all means, open them up.
Yeah. So there's only a couple at the minute.
I mean, since then, the family's come under a lot of stick since they posted all that. I mean, Nathan was quite enthusiastic about it then, but now he doesn't want to talk about it to anyone really, unless it's like an audio or off record or something. Yeah, the rest of the family, I think. I mean, you know, it's sad, isn't it? You know, I mean, they've posted genuine evidence, and all they've come under is increasing flack, especially Nathan, because he was the first one to see it. It was his camera that caught it. He was the one waking up all the rest of the family, like, you know. So if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have anything really. So
no, I don't understand that.
You wouldn't have this.
So do you know? No. So do you know if they've had any contact from MIB or any related agencies since showing the video?
No, I haven't heard anything like that. No, I don't think they have. No. I mean, maybe they have, but I don't know about it. But I don't think they have. No.
No. I was just wondering. That was all. Thank you. Right. Got a couple of questions. So this one's related to the video you just shown. So this is from the Sober Carper. Did anyone else get any footage of the incident, or are there any more eyewitnesses?
None that I know of.
No.
I have appealed, I have asked, but I think it was very late in the morning, 3 o'clock. Very late. Stormy night, so I don't know if anyone would have been looking out the window anyway. I mean, if there are eyewitnesses, I hope they come forward. But it's been over 10 years now, so it would be quite hard for maybe people to recall. I don't know, but I haven't seen any other video evidence. No.
Right. No worries. Thank you. So, have you spoke to them since?
Yeah, I speak to them on occasion. I speak to the mother more than anyone because she's the one that she's the one. I mean, I spoke to them when because I wanted their permission to use their evidence in the book.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're dealing with copyright and property rights there, so I'd be careful there. I mean, I've tried to see if anyone would be interested in maybe doing some kind of documentary on it, because I thought maybe this could go on one of those national TV shows. Because I know they want to tell their story, but at the same time, it's. I mean, Nathan has had to put up with so much crap. It would be kind of difficult to get him on camera again. Do you know what I mean? Because in the beginning, he was so eager. He was a young child. He was only 12. But obviously, he's come on. A lot of people it's just ridiculous how they've reacted to him.
I know.
You call a lot of keyboard warriors saying the skeptics like champions of keeping it keeping it delusional. I mean,
I don't get why people do it.
It's small.
Yeah, just beyond me. But we have got another question, but this is more related to Wales itself. It's from Nickname again. And she wants to know, does Gary have any theories on Wales being a UFO hotspot?
There is something in the book. I've mentioned it in the Pentyrch one as well. There seems to be a series of energy points, ley lines, if you will, running through Wales. Some of them are mapped out on trig points, those little like obelisk plinth things you find on mountain points. Yeah, there's one up on Caerphilly Mountain, not too far from me, but they seem to run the major hotspots, or ley lines, if you will, match the hotspots. They run through North Wales, through Pentyrch. I think one theory I like the sound of was from some American researcher that they're attracted to magnetic fields.
Right.
There's a lot of high magnetic field areas up in North Wales. There's a lot of mountains around here, and the higher up you are, so I think the magnetic fields are stronger. So, I think I don't know. I think there's just something about Wales that we don't know, or there's something ancient about it. That from our past we've forgotten. Like I said, I think there's a connection between ley lines and UFOs. I think they use them for energy sources, or interdimensional travels, but those are just theories. But I think a lot. But I know there are 3 hotspots I've recognized. One is in Swansea, another one's in North Wales, up by the Denbigh area, and sometimes the Brecon Beacons.
Yeah. Well, you hear about that a lot, don't you?
Yeah,
the beacons. So, yeah, thank you. I'm going to jump back onto the topics that you sent. This is one that caught my eye earlier. A famous musician, Skrillex, wrote about it.
Yes.
I need to know this story.
If you go, I do have a slide of it somewhere. I'm surprised I didn't mention it. Let me have a the musician's name was, where is he? Oh, you're gonna have to bear with me a sec. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm just gonna have a quick look through. I've just made them as big as I can.
Number 28, slide 28.
28.
Slide 28, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, his name is, I think it's pronounced Skrillex. He's a musician, and I think he specializes in rock music and DJing and all that.
Yeah.
He was working on an album. He came across Peter's video because he had put a report together. He popped it on his page. Look, you know, it's only a month after the event itself. You can see the date there, 9th of February 2012. So once that was linked to his page, obviously him being very famous, the number of views on that video of Peter's went from like a few hundred or a few thousand, like a few tens of thousands, up to something like 300,000 or 400,000. You know, so it's done very well because of his thing. And I think he made it part of his album because he was doing some kind of UFO album at the time. So obviously this was a very hot video at the time as well.
Oh, cool. Right, I've got another question for you.
Keep coming.
Is from so slow this tonight's doing my head in. So this is from Baby with a Laser, and they want to know: has Gary heard of the Snowden Lights? I've seen them.
No.
Unless
it goes by another name. I've never heard of that one.
Right.
Oh, Mount Snowdon, is it? Is that the?
I'm guessing it is North Wales, isn't it?
Snowden Lights? No, I've never heard of that.
Snowdonia.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's been some UFO activity up there because that's an area that gets a lot of military vehicles going up that way, and I think there is definitely some link between some of the areas they fly. I know they have training areas to fly, like. But, isn't it interesting that the bases are always near the hot spots? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I've got another one from Nick. Yeah, I've got one from Nickname, but I'm a bit confused. So she's put, that looks like the video from earlier in the show. I'm guessing she means the second video.
There's two videos I uploaded.
Right, so
one was recorded.
One zoomed in, isn't it?
Yeah, one is zoomed in. The other, there's some of them are zoomed out. You know, obviously, it's good to have that if you ever videotaping, zooming in and zooming out, because it gives perspective.
Yeah.
But one shows it from a distance. The first one was when the first two boys were looking at it, because Nathan thought it was he had a sound coming from outside. It was his bin blowing over. Big council bin full of rubbish, you know, I mean, very heavy. He looks out the window and you can see what it is, and he sees those lights in the distance, thinking it's something on the TV reflecting in his window. He quickly looks outside, and you know, there it is, like, you know, it's flashing in the distance. And he woke his brother up, and he had that camera of his for Christmas, Camilio S30. He had it for Christmas, and he just started filming from there. So that's how we have the footage.
Oh, cool. So good, perfect Christmas present. In here early. Without that, you would have got it.
Yeah, it doesn't have much of a range in terms of nighttime recording, but I mean, it was good enough for that.
It's still a great video, nonetheless. Right, so thank you, Car, for donating. Thank you. And there's a question for Gary. Have you seen lights accompanied by hum-like electrical transformer instead of jet sound?
Well, I think we did this earlier. You mean when I saw that big V-shaped thing come over my head?
Yes. Yeah, because you said it like you think
it had a sort of a
humming noise.
I think it had a sort of hum noise as it went over. Yeah, it was like a kind of noise.
Yeah,
but I couldn't be 100% because. But I mean, it was distinctive as the lights moved over, so I can only assume it must have been with that. But there's like a lot of background noise, you know, with the valleys and the mountains and things. It could have been wind, but I don't think it was. But you know, I mean, if you asked me how sure I was, I'd go 85, 90% sure. There's always that little element of doubt, like so.
No, thank you. So were you saying the noise from the valleys? Is that like the sound traveling through from like one village to the next?
Traffic or cars, you know, there's a motorway not too far away, and that car is quite far. You'd be surprised in the cold weather. The wind, sometimes, like I said, I don't know. I mean, the wind wasn't that strong, to be honest with you, that night. But, I can't be, like I said, I can't be 100%, but it was coming overhead and just went, so not even that loud. It was more like a fly buzzing in your ear. You get that little noise.
Yeah. No, thank you. I've got another question from Sober Carper. He wants to know, did the incident get any explanation from the government regarding air traffic or military exercise?
No. It was written about in the local press, and I think the only source of any sort of government intervention came from the police, because they were contacted. They passed it off as Lampers. They seemed happy to call it Lampers. They did phone or radio some office, was a police helicopter at that night, or military. They had it as down as no. So, I mean, I checked flight radars too. I mean, maybe I've got an image of that somewhere as well.
Yeah.
I think I do somewhere, don't I? If you want to bring up slide 37, maybe this will help.
1 second. Here we go.
And if you want to bring up 39 as well, slide 37, slide 39.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I've just got to delete a couple of images.
Yeah.
It only lets me put 50 on it. And I've got some on already for Friday's show. So what were the numbers again? Sorry.
Slide 37 and slide 39. And you can put slide 40 up as well if you want as well.
Yeah. 1 second. Oh, it's definitely on a go slow this tonight. Right, so this is slide 37.
Yes, it is annoying.
There we go.
Yeah, that's radar from Plane Finder. You can see. I don't know if you can make out the times. The police were contacted. It's a Freedom of Information request for some information there. I think it was for I can't quite remember what it's for. It's in the book anyway. But those are you can see Denbigh is in those frames. There's nothing there. One of the slides says 3:17. I think the other one says 3:02. The sighting lasted about 15 minutes. It was around just after 3, so he puts it in that time frame. There's nothing there. Nothing there at all. So, and if you go to the next slide, I asked 39, is it?
Yeah, 39.
This is a picture that Linda did for me. This is a field called Kai Howell, I think.
Yeah.
Big open area, for playing in and kicking a ball about or whatever. You can see the bend in the road there. There's a school. She writes down here. There's a school. Maybe we can look at another slide now. But you can see where she's drawn the oval round shape look with the lights and the red thing on top.
Yeah.
Everyone's description matches that. I mean, they describe the lights as like explosions or shimmering underwater. They've all got their own different ideas. If you bring up slide 40, maybe we can give you hang on, slide 40.
There we go. Is that the right one?
Yeah, that seems to be it. Yeah, this is just an idea of size. Now, I'm trying to work out where it is, because they didn't know exactly how it was. They were giving me estimates of 50, 60, maybe 70 feet. Linda thinks it may have been in where that yellow circle is.
Yeah.
Just a bit further up from there. But as I lined up the lights from left to right, you can see the furthest red and left, right lights there. Where I put the line, I just used that field as a line. There's a school to the top left there, and then up the back you can see.
Oh yeah.
Where the red line is drawn in the middle.
Yeah.
I just used a measuring tool for that, and that's what I came up with. 20. I mean, it probably wasn't that big, but I mean, I don't think it was any bigger than that. That would make it around 70 odd feet. So it was definitely behind the fields of Kai Howell, beyond the bend of the road that the picture that Linda just drew. You just saw. So I mean, it was definitely about 70 odd feet, oval shaped with lights and a red light on top. Spun in a clockwise formation with strange lights going in opposite directions. You see
Yeah.
Yeah, the fixtures on this thing, it was a brilliant video, just an excellent video.
Yeah, it was. Are we all right to play it again?
Which one?
The video, the second one.
Yeah, play it again, please. I'll put my video
Yeah.
on. I'll put my mic on mute.
Okay. So I just need to. There we go.
The bizarre thing is, it's spinning. Look.
Just now I can see it through it.
Look at the lights. Look at it.
It's shaking a light.
Wow. That's amazing. I know, it's weird.
Shut up! Fuck, he's open. Stroking my legs. Should we send it to me in post?
Come have a look at it. Lights. There could be something in that field. Man, if you go there tomorrow with a crop circle, do you reckon that's what's making it?
Yeah, Alex, if we upload this to YouTube, Alex, yeah?
That's amazing, though.
Would you reckon the Secret Service will take?
Shit.
Alex, look right now. Can see above it, Alex? Can see above it? Fine. Oh my god.
That is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
You might be like.
I'm saying, what the hell could that be? That is amazing. I can see the saucer. Check him.
What you want?
Yeah, it's strange because you can see how it goes from horizontal and then one sec. It goes from horizontal and then comes up at that angle. I know you can't see the shape of the craft itself, but you can see the lights, the way the lights are, and then they tilt up.
Yeah, you're coming in a bit muffled there, mate. Sorry.
Oh, is that any better?
Yeah, it's fine.
No, I was just saying you can see
as well, so it's sort of
all right. You can see how the lights are horizontal, and then as the video progresses, it tilts right up.
Yeah, it's very unusual how it does that. But I mean, try explaining that away. I mean, everybody keeps using the same old the debunkers just use the same old dumb explanation. Oh, it's a vehicle, it's a golf cart, it's roundabout. You know, I mean, somebody thinks there's a roundabout up there. You know, I mean, for God's sake, are you really this dumb? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I don't mind entertaining different ideas, but at the same time, you know, I'm not a friggin' idiot.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
You know, I mean, you know, so there's a lot of critics out there, but very few people know how to criticize.
Yeah.
You know, healthy skepticism and criticism is something I actually like because it keeps me honest. I'm a big critic. I'm always going to be a critic.
Yeah, that's it. It keeps you thinking as well, doesn't it?
I have to be. You know, when I first started out, I was kind of yeah,
like I said earlier, you'd be believing everything you're seeing.
Oh, definitely.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, no. Otherwise, you know, you're going to fall for every little thing you see. Like, you're going to believe in every little thing. You'll believe in everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, this is none of that stuff. You know what I mean? whatever this
No,
is,
no.
it's none of those things.
No,
Because I've
Right,
checked
we've
them all.
got,
I've been there myself. I've walked around. You're not going to get.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Well, I'm just going to say it's not lightning. It's not the golf course.
No.
It's not open. It's not the quarry. It's too far over to the right. It's no buildings up there. It's dense forest. It's wherever the lights are. Yeah, it's definitely level with. But it's nowhere where the family are from. It's nowhere near where they are. The farm is up. The farm in the forest is about a mile further up. And if it's up that way, it would make the object, the object itself about 400, 300 odd feet wide. And even they say they did because although the camera of the chameleon picked up a lot of detail, their eyes were seeing more.
Yeah,
I mean,
like you said, they could see the top of it, so that must have tilted forward.
Yeah,
at some point for them to see the top of the craft.
Well, it's doing that, and I think it's coming over like that as well. I mean,
yeah,
it's. I mean, if you see the documentary and you read the book. Right, there's more detail in there. I can't cover everything in a short space of time, but I mean, it's without a doubt, one of the most underrated cases I've come across because it's got everything you want. It answers all your questions. It's conclusive in its findings. You've got 4 great witnesses. You've got all this other evidence to support it. You've got video, expert analysis on top of that, and you've got all the other things up. But and that's why I say, a truthful argument for the existence of UFOs. So show me a case name a case that actually proves it. There you go.
Yeah.
There you are. I mean, because although the Pentyrch incident is far more impactful, given the scale of everything that happened, and of course, this is a nice, solid case with the UK and Wales. It should be up there with all the other nice cases, that get mentioned.
Well, that's it. You've got video evidence of that, and that's what people want, and they want to be able to see what is that you've witnessed or what the person has witnessed to make it more feasible. I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 10 minutes of that video. There's 2. It was shot in 2 segments. One was like 3 minutes, and one was like 6 minutes on.
Yeah.
But you add it all up, it's close to 10 minutes. So. What was someone doing for 10 minutes? Waving a torch around up in the air. Woo-hoo, look at this!
A big torch.
Over here. Woo-hoo. Some sort of glitter ball, and then go, woo-hoo, here you go.
Yeah,
spinning it around over their head like that. Oh, it's just ridiculous.
Look, you're always going to get people that come out with the most ridiculous reasons as to what it was. Doesn't matter what it is.
I think we discussed this last time. I mean, with the Pentyrch thing, and I think I've seen someone try it before. It's like, what was the multi-spectral forensic? I don't know, quantum. For I can't even remember the words they used. They just put a lot of big scientific words together to make it sound like it was the quantum. What was the quantum forensic? Multispectral analysis thing that you did, to prove that, and I'm like, do you even know what that is? Because I'm pretty sure you're making it up. You're trying to come up with these big words to make it look impressive, and then see, he doesn't have that look. And some of them make instant, impossible demands for evidence, and it's like, you can't get it. They don't even know what it is themselves. Half of it's just bollocks. You know what I mean? But pardon the swear, but are there any more questions?
Yes, we've got 2 more. So we'll do these 2. So this is from can't speak. This is from Welsh Wend, and she's put, does Gary know about any UFOs coming out the sea near Abergele and Rhyl?
Yeah, they do come out there. Some people have witnessed them. There've been reports of. I mean, I've got one case now from a lady. I'm trying to get time to meet her, but I've got so much going on.
Yeah.
It's difficult to arrange travel.
Yeah.
Especially even more difficult now with the stupid 20-mile-an-hour thing they got going on. We think. Llandudno, she said she saw a very strange V-shaped object, and it had the way the thing looked. It looks like a V, but it's got like these sort of like, it looks like curved edges in boxes or something. It's very strange.
All right.
It's like if you were to get like a curved box, it's sort of curved and outwards like that, and stick them together in a V-shaped formation. She said she saw that coming over the sea in Llandudno, and it was spinning as it was moving, and it was moving very strangely. And Yeah, a lot of people have said about Rhyl and the Abergele area, North Wales. They've seen
Yeah.
things going out to the sea, going into the sea, coming out. There's even talk that there's a US, there's maybe a base under the sea there, somewhere further out towards out to the coast of North Wales, out the coast of Blackpool area, maybe. I think Blackpool's there, in Liverpool way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but,
it's not too far, is it?
Yeah.
I think I was just going to say, I'm a bit disappointed because I used to go to Tywin, Rhyl, and Abergele and Prestatyn pretty much every year for like 10, 15 years growing up. Never seen anything. I don't recall ever seeing anything.
There's two places in North Wales that I've visited with some people who I'm not going to bother mentioning now. A place called Copper Mountain, Paris Copper Mountain. I think it's spelled Parys. I don't think it's Paris as in the France Paris, but it's pronounced like it's Copper Mountain or something. And when you go there, it's got that very deep copper color because I think it's a copper mine.
Oh, right, okay.
And there's another place called the Clwydian Range. It's like a mountain range up there that is very, very dense mountain range, but it runs for quite some distance around Denbigh.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to a man named Gary Rowe one time, and he told me that particular area is known for a UFO hotspot range, and he said to me that they use this area because it hides them from the radars and the tracking equipment for and that's his idea. And I do have a picture of Gary Rowe if you want to see it quickly. It's slide 43. And what you will see there is a piece of material also that he has kept from a case that was in Llanilla near Aberystwyth in 1983.
Yeah.
Some farmer or some landowner had called him saying that there was some strange material that had been all over the place of his land. Covered like 4 fields, 4 big fields.
Yeah.
And by the time he got there, he said that someone had come in, get this, cleaned the area, had actually dug it all up and turfed it over, or turned the soil over, and cleared all the trees as well.
Oh, sorry.
Didn't mean to do that. And that piece of, but he and his friends came down and discovered that the land had been all cleared up. But he was certain there had to be something still, because as good as they could clean it up, they couldn't get everything. So with a bit of persistence, he said he found all these strange items here. One looks like a big green piece. There's a piece in a box within the box, which is like tin foil. And then it's that little individual piece next to it there, like, that small foam polystyrene looking thing. He says it's very light and very, very, very hollow material, but if you tried hitting it with a sledgehammer, apparently it doesn't even make a dent in it. It's and I haven't seen the report, but he says he had some of that green stuff, that big stuff, analyzed, and it's like aircraft paint, but it's so refined and so well made that we should be putting that on all our planes because it's so aerodynamic. The paint. Yeah. It's known as the Europe's Roswell. Anyway, there's a documentary about it there. There's a you can see you can see it up there. I think Mark Ollie was the guy who did it, and it was a good documentary. I really liked it. It was only about 45 minutes, but there was some nice little bits in there. It's historical stuff. There's also another case that happened around the area that's lady just mentioned. It's called Llantrisant, I think it's how you pronounce it. It was in 1979. There is a mention of a report in there in the book. Let me see if I can just find it quick.
Yeah.
One of the, I should put markers in this book, but I want people to buy the book and look for it for themselves.
Yeah.
But no, I can't find it at the minute. Not unless I spend a bit of time going through the book. But there was a report made. Yeah, there was a report made by Bufora, which is like the British UFO research agency. And what the lady described, there were 6 witnesses, but I actually met one of them. They described like this bullet-shaped craft, like a shape on top, like a diamond point shape, and a shape like that, like a bullet or a rocket, I guess you could say. And it came down from out of the sky, landed in a field behind a residential area. 6 or 7 people saw it. 3 beings came outside of it, 3 occupants, all about 7 feet tall. And they were wearing what they looked like, I guess, these radiation type suits, you know, with the helmet and the silver color to it. They walked around for a bit and went across the field. She actually saw some of those people, and they were moving away from her. And eventually they got back in the craft and it took off. No noise, no sign of a propeller or any kind of rotor blades. It just levitated on its own and went out of there. And what's interesting about it is that there was a lot of researchers who came to the area to look into it. They looked, they questioned all the witnesses and did some of their own investigations, and there was a big report made about it. And you can actually get the report online. You can get it on Internet Archive if you want to find it.
Oh, right.
Hell, is it? Oh, here we go. It's on page 45, my book. I'm going to hold this up to the screen because I want people to see this. That's what they describe. Look, stripes, big, so that you can see the outline of the person. Look.
Yeah.
There's a mention of it in there. Yeah, there's a report. There's a big report made about it, actually. And volume 8, number 5, November 1979. I have all the links in the book anyway. I have all the links available in the book. I try to make sure all the sources I use are available for everyone to. So that's interesting. I mean, I don't know if there's any other questions if people, but that's a good question. There's a lot of activity in North Wales coming out of the sea.
Yeah, we've got one last question before we do finish, and this is from Kat. He wants to know, Gary, did you know there's a base under RAF St Magwan, Cornwall?
I've heard of that one. I've not had a chance to look into it. I imagine Carr probably knows way more than this than I do. I am certain there are 2 bases that we have in Wales. One is up in the Brecon Beacons area. I did see a link on that one time. There was a lot of ordnance survey maps and some really good survey evidence to back that up. And there has been strange radar equipments going in and out of that area. I can't speak so much of North Wales, the sea area. I don't know if that's a base of ours or maybe there's a base for the strange craft that's seen coming out of there. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was in Cornwall because, once again, it's on the line of the ley lines that I've mentioned. So, I mean, there's a lot of UFO activity that's seen coming out of there that goes up the Bristol Channel towards, would you believe it, North Brecon Beacons in North Wales. So, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, there's a place that we go to. I've been going since I was a kid, and I always try and get up every couple of years, called Dissurf, just outside Prestatyn. And there's a big waterfall. You can climb up the side of the waterfall and get to the top. And there's a big cave system. I know there's quite a few caves in Wales. And there's another cave system. Another cave system that went to. It was years ago. It was when my granddad was alive. I don't know how the correct pronunciation, but it was like Kevin Caves. We called it Kevin Caves, but I think it was Kevin Caves. Don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I don't know.
I know. All I know is North Wales.
Kevin or something.
Possibly. I don't know.
All right. Okay.
But it's just because it's like because where Dissurf is. So where Dissurf is going out towards Rill, I think it's only about 5, 6, maybe 7 miles away. So if the caves, don't know, maybe they go under towards the coast.
Well, there's a cave system in the Denbigh area itself. I think Peter Glynn pointed me to that one in one of his videos. He said that he thought maybe there was something to do with the caves. It could well be. Who knows?
Possibly.
There's a lot of... they seem to be attracted to quarries as well. I don't know why, but there's a quarry in Denbigh. There's a quarry in Pentyrch. there's a quarry in Aberystwyth where that Roswell is.
Yeah,
There's one definitely around. There's a quarry up in flipping Rendlesham as well, you know. So there's obviously something to do with maybe it's something to do with the materials as well. That
yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, I was on another interesting chat. That just reminded me. I got to get in touch with that other lady. She's going to kill me. She wanted where I am. She wanted photographs of that thing that I took. I said I'd give it to her.
Right, okay.
She says as they spin, and as they come near these places, that's how they gather energy from the ground, or magnetic fields are stronger in those areas.
Right, okay.
To me, I thought, that actually makes quite a bit of sense. If you are magnetic fields or electromagnetism is part of your energy source or microwave energies, it could well be. I mean, who knows how these things work?
Yeah, that's it. We don't know, do we? But it would make sense.
I was watching a film, funny enough, this morning before I got up this morning. I couldn't sleep last night. I was a bit restless. But I was watching The Man, I don't know, is it The Man from Venus or something? It's like a 1954 film. And he talked about, he was even talking about magnetism then. Opposing magnets and opposing magnetic fields. And I'm like, this is 1954. And you're telling me the technology that you're using or how they're using it, and this is 1954. It's not that long after Roswell, and I'm pretty sure the film before the film got made, was probably well in the research stages. So how the hell did they know back then? I got my curiosity going a bit.
Yeah, I think hidden in plain sight is a phrase that pops up quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
I do believe in that.
It's bizarre. I mean, even films like the 1940s, 1950s, and what was it? The Attack of the Flying Saucers, was it? Remember that film with the They started using radar to bring them down because they realized, the high frequencies or the frequencies of radar interfered with their systems. And I'm like, I think they were telling us something in those films before I guess they decided to put a truth embargo on it a bit.
Yeah. Because you have like the Body Snatchers, where they come in and it'd be a clone. So these aliens would come down and it'd be a clone of whoever, and it's identical to the person that's been put in some sort of.
They make those funny screams, don't they?
Yeah. So there's a lot of strange.
It's interesting because. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're right.
It's just interesting because those films are talking about how nuclear weapons interfere with magnetic fields. They talk about how humanity is not ready for this technology. I mean, we're going back late 1940s, early 1950s here, and these things are still being discussed now. But yet, as you say about the Body Snatchers films from the 60s and 70s, it kind of made aliens more of a threat. They were like the Blob and, the War of the Worlds. And, they started making aliens super duper huge. They started making the beings a threat. You know what I mean? And, and then Star Wars comes along and Star Trek comes along and, we start seeing about all this other stuff. It's very strange, But then, the technology they use in those films is way more than what we're discussing here. So it's very strange how they sort of steered people away from the late 1940s and 1950s to now. I mean, I've always found that a little strange. And this morning, just watching that film, it's like you're telling me how these things work.
Yeah,
and yet, until Bob Lazar came around, and what people think of Bob Lazar, I don't know. But, I've always found him interesting. It wasn't until like the 1990s, 2000 that, again, we started learning more about these things.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Right. Well, we have come to the end of the show. So, a massive thank you for coming on, Gary. Really do appreciate it. Do you want to give us the name of the book and hold it up for a couple of seconds so that we know what we're looking for?
It's The Denbigh Lights, A Truthful Argument for the Existence of UFOs. It's available on Amazon and Kindle audio, paper and hardback. And it's a 5-year investigation into, a very underrated case of a UFO that happened in North Wales, January 3rd, 2012.
Thank you. Cheers for that. I'll put if you send me the links across, I'll add them into the description of the video. I've got some of them that I can put on.
I've got, well, I think the links are already there. The one is in the private chat here, is in the book and the presentation, and yeah, I think those are the ones you need.
I think I'll put most of them on anyway, so they should all be in there anyway. But just in case I've missed one or two, I shouldn't have, but it does happen.
I'll send them again if you want, but I mean, if you're in the private chat, they're right there. Do you need me to send them again?
No, it's fine. I can get them out of there. That's not a problem.
Lovely.
Yep. Right. So massive thank you again for coming on. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Yep. Anytime. This week we're keeping it UFO alien topic because we've got Chris Evers from Outer Limits magazine coming on.
Oh, he's good, Chris. I like Chris.
Yeah. And Earl Grey from MUFON over in California. So they're my two guests this Friday. Next week there is going to be 3 streams. I'm doing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And for those who are not doing anything for Halloween, please do keep October the 27th free because I'm doing a Halloween special, but it's not going to be like any other one that I've done before. It's just I don't want to give too much away, but just make sure you're here for October the 27th. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be good as well. So that's it. That's all I'm saying. We've got a few more things in the pipeline coming up as well. So I'll tie them as we get closer to them. Because I think I've got a few ideas and projects coming up, but I don't want to give them away and somebody steals it before I do it. Then it looks like I'm copying them. So I'll keep my cards close to my chest.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good phrase. I don't really use that often. Bit of synchronicity going on there. But no,
as soon as you were about to say it, I was gonna...
Yeah. It's strange. Like I said, I probably only ever used that phrase like twice in my whole life. So, but no, it's been great having you on, and definitely come back on again.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have. I've got some other cases I can talk about next time. I'd like to.
Definitely.
Attention. I don't have any books on them, but I mean, I've got. I call them the Caldicot Triangle. There's another one I recently did on the Smilog Woods where that crash site happened, and I've got someone who's seen a lot of stuff down in Swansea Way. I can't remember exactly where. And they've all got, and they're all with videos and analysis done on those as well. So,
cool.
So it's very a lot of evidence to go with it.
Yeah, I was just thinking because one of the projects that I've got coming up is going to be slightly different, similar to what I'm doing now, but it's not at the same time. But I'll talk if you're all right to stay once we finish the show and have a quick chat with you. Is that okay?
Yes,
I've just got to play the outro video and then we'll have a chat with you and then we'll go from there. So I just want to say thank you everyone listening and watching on YouTube. Thank you everyone who's listening on podcast. Patreon is now set up. There's going to be stuff put on there. That's mainly for people that listen on podcast. So there's going to be at least one video a month that's going to go out. One podcast a month that's going to go out on Patreon, the same as one video a month that's going to go out for YouTube pay members on tier 2, which is the Dogman tier. Just to give a little something back for those that are paying the full membership. So, but more of that next week when I'm doing the extra shows. So thank you everyone. Have a great 2 days and I will see you on Friday. So take care and good night.